Convicted double murderer Alex Murdaugh back in the news tonight after the state corrections department says he's been convicted of 2 internal disciplinary charges. Our Sam Perez joins us in studio with the details.
SCDC says Murdaugh has been charged with abuse of privileges and unauthorized use of an inmate's PIN number. The department says it used this 43-page policy outlining the inmate disciplinary system to hold a disciplinary hearing where Murdaugh appeared before an officer at the prison. The department says this comes after Murdaugh provided information for a media interview by using a fellow inmate's PIN number to make the telephone call with his lawyer, Jim Griffin. Taylor Bell is a South Carolina defense attorney who is not related to this case, but gave insight about the calls.
All inmates have the ability to have legal phone calls.
SCDC says while this is not against South Carolina law, it is against the department's policy, which prohibits inmates from giving interviews. I reached out to current lawyer and former SCDC director John Osment to learn about the implications of this.
There's sort of a general consensus that inmates as wards of the state, and that's what they are, should not be allowed to profit from their crimes, and certainly shouldn't be allowed to profit from their crimes in a way that re-victimizes their victims.
Does SCDC have the ability to then, if this were to be a repeat problem, stop these calls between a lawyer and an inmate?
Yes, and I think that has been litigated in cases where lawyers refuse to comply with reasonable and constitutional rules of the prison system, and I think DOCs across the country have won that battle.
The department says this written policy is provided to inmates and attorneys, and it's the responsibility of both to follow the guidelines.
However, I'm not necessarily sure I agree 100% with that, given that you don't 100% lose your First Amendment rights once you are incarcerated. You could have, actual valid grievances against the facility itself.
But Osment says it's about the victims in these cases.
If you were the victim of a crime, and you see the guy that impacted your family forever on TV, it wouldn't much matter to you what he was complaining about, would it?
SCDC says Murdaugh's canteen and phone privileges have been taken away for 30 days as a result, which they say is typical for instances like this. SCDC has also taken away Murdaugh's tablet, and the department tells me it hasn't determined whether that will be given back. Reporting in studio, Sam Perez, News 19 WLTX.
Sam, thanks. We did reach out to Murdaugh attorney Jim Griffin. While he would not comment on the department's actions, he did say he has the highest respect for State Corrections Director Brian Sterling.
Murdaugh has agreed to plead guilty to federal charges. In June, he originally pled not guilty to the charges. He has 22 charges total in connection to stealing millions of dollars from clients, and each charge carries a maximum sentence of 20 years. Records did not indicate if any charges were dropped with the guilty plea. Murdaugh is also facing around 100 other state charges. Those charges include creating fake bank accounts to steal money from clients, money laundering, tax evasion, and theft.